guys, welcome back to another CSR2 video. So someone on my channel asked me to show the difference between the supply cup tune and how it would work versus how it would work in a PC cup. So I'm going to show you guys a few final runs in a supply cup, then we're going to jump back over to the prestige cup and I'll show you why prestige cup you can't use this technique versus you can use the negative evo tune for supply cups. Now most map races use dyno, but not the prestige cup. However, supply cups, it's not hard to use a dyno buster tune to essentially make it really simple to beat. I'm on the last few races, and as you can see, I only need to shift once and just kind of let the car run through, and I'm able to easily get through the supply cup this way. That's why I make these tunes, because quite honestly, I don't want to struggle with my supply cups. I have no interest in doing them other than for the points and the fusions. So making them waste my fuel pips and grinding through them with difficulty is not what I'm interested in. So rather, I take the easy way out and just do this so I can literally play a second game while I'm watching the supply cup slowly grind its way through. So that's why I do it this way. Now, other people don't have the patience, or if you have the maxed car, you don't have to do that. You can easily blow through a supply cup once your car is fast enough to beat the fastest opponent. A fully maxed or even mostly maxed Hennessey Venom GT will simply blow through the supply cups without an issue. But still, what we're doing here is we're just figuring out what can be done without having to stress about winning. So here it is again, just casually getting through. It's a little bit slower than I would like, but that's the price you pay, essentially, when you don't have a setup that has much higher upgrades. Okay, so 23, 24, 25, it'll be somewhere between 9.9 to 10 second runs, which is probably half a second, well, I would say 5 seconds slower than if you were running it with a fully maxed car. Per race, over 25 races, that can add up as far as time's concerned, but losing a race because you're a newer player and don't have the car set up right to win is even more frustrating. So basically you kind of pick your poison when it comes to stuff like this. Okay, so I'm almost there. Once I'm done, I'm going to jump back to the garage. I'll show you guys that the Prestige Cup, which actually isn't that difficult this season, you can easily beat, I think, with just body stage 6, and that's assuming of course you have full fusions, or you can have a few more stage 6s and less fusions. But I've seen the slowest car to be actually a 9.2. You can beat that almost with a stage 5 only, but that's cutting it really close. So stage 6 body is the biggest for this car. All the rest of them have some effect, but nothing like body. Body drops a ton of time, and therefore it's one of the best stage 6s for the car. Okay, here we go. Last race, I think. So that's it for supply cup. 5 last races, real easy. I'll shift into third this time to shave a little more time off, but it doesn't really help that much. I mean, second is good enough to kind of get through everything. So you go from a 9.9 to a 9.2 would be not a big deal, but the point here is that no matter who you are, if you don't have many fusions, you don't have the car really well upgraded, it doesn't matter. You can still get through supply cups pretty easily in this game, and you should, because the extra free RP and also the fusions will only help you get closer to your goal of actually getting through the Prestige Cup. Now, so Prestige Cup here, we cannot do that. So you know what? Let me run one race at the Prestige Cup. I'll show you what the difference is. The race times in Prestige Cup are set. There is no benefit to run slower or run under dyno. Your dyno is irrelevant. You still have to hit the target race time, which, oh, I'm on race 1. That's pretty bad. I'm not going to run all 30 races here for Prestige Cup here for you guys. That's going to be too miserable to watch. But let's run race 1. I will win this, but I'll show you what I'm talking about with regard to dyno. It's the opponent's not going to run based on your dyno. The opponent's going to run based on what the Prestige Cups is set for the time that the opponent is supposed to run. So it's irrelevant that you beat dyno or not. The opponent's going to run what the opponent's going to run. It doesn't care what your dyno is or what you're supposed to run, because if you can't beat the opponent, you just have to come back later. So notice, despite the fact that in the Supply Cup the opponent's running like 15s, here the opponent's running a 16, but it doesn't care about my dyno here. Okay, and also don't forget, this is a half mile versus a quarter mile, so the actual dyno is actually a lot slower. In fact, I think it's NA, or possibly 30 seconds or something silly. Regardless, doesn't help you to have a dyno beating tune for Prestige Cup. You need to have the car running fast enough to beat each race. Now, I'm not going to make you watch through 20-some races, but let me just show you. It was 22-second dyno. The opponent still started at 16 because that's what it's set at. It doesn't matter that I'm supposed to run, 22s, and it's supposed to give me more margin. It's not going to do that. It's just going to get faster and faster. So for Prestige Cup, you're going to have to run the car built to the best that you can. And in that case, you're going to have to go ahead and get the car upgraded to the point where it's going to do what it's going to do. Now, I have extra fusions. I'm not throwing them in, partly because I don't want to waste the few that I have. But let's go ahead and put the car together with, for the most part, stage 5s, because I do have that basically fusioned out, except for intake. How many am I missing? Ooh, I'm missing a lot. Intake's kind of tough. I don't have many intake epics. I don't want to waste them all, but I'll show you anyway that I should be able to get pretty far, if not to the end, utilizing just body stage 6. It won't be as good as Foley Fusion, which is like an 8.8. This is probably going to end up being around 8.9s, which may not cut it unless I find a slower opponent. Let's see what we can do here. .797 on the dyno, but that's not likely to get me those runs. Don't forget, this car is kind of difficult to run. So, all right, I'm going to go run some Prestige Cup runs. We're going to come back, and then we're going to actually look at the final few races, and I'll see if I can beat the Prestige Cup with just one stage 6 body. All right, we're back here with race 25 of the Prestige Cup. As you can see, I'm running about low 8.8, even though I'm on an 8.7 dyno. Now, if you're Foley Fusion, you might be a little bit quicker, but regardless, it has gotten me to race 25 without any hiccups. But here, again, you will see that the opponents are just simply getting faster and faster. There's no way around that. Unlike the Supply Cup, there simply isn't a adjustment made for your dyno. It doesn't matter what your dyno is. The opponent's going to run what the opponent's going to run. So when it comes to Prestige Cup, it's all about building your car up, getting it to the point where it can do the best it can as far as the numbers. So this car has a hard time hitting dyno, which is why for Supply Cup it gets more difficult, because if you're not hitting dyno and the opponent's running about your dyno right near the end, you're going to have a little bit more of a struggle, and if you're really slower than your dyno, then you're really going to struggle. Alright, so again, we're on race 27. Race 28 actually gives you a stage 6. Almost always, up to that point, the computer will let you pretty much get there without having to have any stage 6s. So, right now the opponents are running much slower than what stage 5 only would run. And it'll get closer to that as you get to race 28. Usually race 28 you get through without any stage 6s, and then you're keeping your fingers crossed that it's the stage 6 you want. So as long as you can sort of get to that point, you should be good to go. But if you get intake or you get turbo, well, you may not be able to get through the Prestige Cup then. Then you'll have to go back and pull crates, use keys, or do something. And if you're short on fusions a lot, you definitely wouldn't make it either, right? So fusions and stage 6s both help with performance, but stage 6s by itself without fusions really doesn't do much. It'll do something, but it won't do much. The major improvements come both from the stage 6 and the fusions. So you need both in order to really drop the time. So I'm just trying to run the car as well as I can. I can hope to run close to 8.8, but I can't really beat 8.8, simply not getting the shift pattern or whatever it is down to the point of doing that. So here, had I not have any stage 6s, I would have gotten one of the worst ones, turbo. And it's not uncommon to get turbo, but turbo isn't going to cut it. It's not going to get you through this. You're really going to need something better than turbo. Now, the escalation between race 28, 29, and 30 is usually a decent jump. So you'll see that race 28, it was like a 9.8 on the opponent side. It's really easy to beat. But by race 29, all of a sudden, the opponent's going to get way quicker. And now it's going to be a slight bit challenging. And if you only had that turbo, this may not have even cut it for you. Although, depending on how well you can drive the car with turbo S6 and full fusions, I guess you could make that far. But if you're at race 28 looking for your first stage 6, chances are you're also looking for some epic fusions still. So again, you're going to need more than one stage 6 if it's going to be something along the lines of missing a bunch of epic fusions. So race 30, it's saying, look, you're not going to make it. It's extreme. And probably will be very, very close even if I do make it. But I remember that someone found a car at least that runs, I believe, 9.2s. I'm not saying I'm going to get that easy a run here. I probably may even lose, but the opponents here definitely will be right near where a fully body stage car would be. So 8.806 for that opponent. I'm not going to run him again because 8.806 I haven't hit yet with my setup. I can throw those intake epics in, but I don't want to waste them. They're much better Hennessey cars, and we're going to get one soon, and that's the F5 Venom Spider. Now the F5 Venom and F5 Venom concepts are very good Hennessey cars, and if the Spider is nothing more than a slight reskin of that, then we want that car, right? That's going to be a good car. So you want to save your epic fusions for that F5 Venom Spider, which incidentally will be a milestone car. So almost anyone who's in a milestone crew will be able to get it. So I am going to try to do my best here. Again, I just got to watch the opponent, see how fast they catch up, and woo, look like I lost again. So they're kind of beating me on the end here, 8.832. You know, I could probably get a run in around that, but it's always going to be tough. So again, one more time, we're going to go back out and try to find one more opponent that's a little bit slower. But 8.83 is very beatable with full fusioned body stage 6 car, and that's, I'm close to that. I'm kind of running a you know, deficit of a few fusions, but again, I don't want to waste more epics on parts that I don't need. So here's what I have. I'm missing a lot of engine, although I did gain, I mean, not engine, intake. I did gain one more, but if you put it in, it only adds like 9 Evo. That's not going to do anything. So that's basically a waste. So rather than wasting it, I'm just going to look for a slower opponent using gas pips. Ultimately, gas pips cause gold if you're in a rush, but gas pips also can be gained back with video, so it's just time rather than having to try to get more fusions. I'm going to keep jumping in and out one or twice more, and if it doesn't work, we're going to go ahead and just finish it. I don't want to waste tons of time on this, but eventually you're going to get a slightly slower opponent, and that's all you need. Alright, so again, this one's not looking like the opponent's going to give me the win here. It's pretty fast. So again, it's very close. It's just that I'm not making the runs the way I hoped to be able to do. And I haven't found the guy that's a little bit slower. All I need is a guy that runs like 8.85s, and I should be able to win this. Still, if I can run actually 8.803 or something better, it would be easier, but you know, it's always like that. Okay. give it one more shot. I can always throw another stage 6 in and just beat it, but the goal here is to try to beat this without any more stage 6s because it's quite doable. Alright, so hopefully this guy is a little bit slower. We'll see. Okay. Oh, that might be the slow guy. Oh no, he's coming up really fast now. Woo! Ah, he beat me. Oh no, he didn't. Haha! I got him. Alright, he must be like the 8 point. Yep, there it is. 8.865 is all I need to see in order to beat him. Even if he ran like an 8.5 something, I would have re-challenged him and tried to do an 8.83 run. But there it is. Now, and that's not the slowest guy. Like I said, there's a 9.2 guy apparently out there, but you're going to have to use a lot of gas pips if you want to try to find that guy. In any case, right there, we finished this Prestige Cup. So the difference again between Supply and Prestige Cup is that Supply Cup dyno works. Prestige Cup, it doesn't matter what your dyno is. You just have to run fast enough to beat each opponent. Okay, and I managed to get to 18 on this. I mean, I guess I will finish it and get that car, but I have a few days left. I got time. So that's it. That is both the Supply Cup runs and the PC Cup run for this season. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you like my channel and like seeing videos like this, subscribe, hit the bell, and you get those notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.